Yes, everybody, good morning and welcome back to Forever United TV, bringing you all of your Manchester United news, updates and every little bit of story going around Manchester United at the moment. There's only one place we can really kickstart this morning's show with, though, and that is the future of our manager, our head coach, RUBEN Amorim. Another absolutely diabolical performance from Manchester United, yet again in a big game, and again the questions are being asked. We're going to go through what RUBEN Amorim has said after that press conference, which I think is pretty damning, to be honest. I mean, I'll get the opinions of everybody in the live chat, and of course, please do drop your comments into the comment section after the live is finishing. If you've not watched the live, get them comments in there and let me know what you think of what RUBEN Amorim said off the back of that performance. I don't know what was worse, what RUBEN Amorim was saying after the game or RUBEN Amorim's team's performance in the game against Manchester City yesterday. I don't know what is worse there. I don't know which way that Manchester United are going to go from here. I don't think RUBEN Amorim is going to be fired. I don't think he's going to be sacked. I don't want him to be sacked, but I think he's sacking himself, which is why I said what I said yesterday in my match vlog. I just think the man is burying himself right now. There is nothing that anybody can say or do to defend RUBEN Amorim at the moment, and that's the biggest point for me in all of this, and that is where we are going to start today. I mean, can you defend a man that continuously plays the wrong players in the wrong positions? How, after 31 games in the Premier League, and let's not forget the other games in Europe and the FA Cup and every other competition that RUBEN Amorim has played in at Manchester United, how can you not have a settled side? How do you not know who fits your system the best? I think that's the biggest question here. It's like Gary Neville said, there's no time for panic, but I'm worried for the manager. We've seen this film before. We've seen this movie before with Manchester United. The system, the formation, everything he's trying to do, the philosophy, whatever he wants to say, is not working at Manchester United, and RUBEN Amorim is sinking fast right now. The players are not responding to what he wants. For him to come out and say that not one Manchester United player gave everything yesterday in a Manchester derby, I'm sorry, we've got all the preparation time we've ever needed. We've got more preparation time than ever to prepare for a game, and to go out and not know what they're doing or not have that drive in a Manchester derby. Yeah, we can question the players, and we have questioned the players all along, but RUBEN is still picking these players. He's still picking players that have been failing while other players are waiting around, and it's easy to go into it straight away from the top here and say, well, you could easily just say a player on the bench should be coming onto the pitch because United have lost. If we'd have won, then nobody's talking about it. But we did say before the game, we've said before the game yesterday, if United are winning, then no one's talking about RUBEN. No one's talking about the players he's not picking. No one's talking about his system. But he's got 8 wins in 31 games in the Premier League. He's got a win percentage of 25%. It's absolutely horrendous. And the results don't lie. This is what he's got to deal with. But all of that, all of the players, RUBEN's system, Manchester United not wanting to sack another manager. We can't go down the road of sacking managers. We can't go down the road of getting rid of another one, rinse and repeat, another bunch of players survive, another manager goes. Look, at the end of the day, what we're looking at here is a football structure is in place now, and transfers and players that have been brought in are players that are going to fit several systems. We've talked about this a lot. Ineos have got a decision to make. It won't come this month. It won't come, I don't think, next month. I think RUBEN Amorim is going to get enough time here to turn it around for maybe another 8 games or something like that. He needs to accept that he has not got it right. If he does that, he will survive. I'm confident he will. I think he's got enough football knowledge and IQ to actually survive at Manchester United. But if he continues to be as stubborn as he is and say he's not going to change, like he said in his press conference, I'm not going to change my philosophy. Otherwise, it's pointless changing my philosophy. The only way that this changes is if you change the man. As in, Ineos come in and they get rid of RUBEN Amorim. That's what he's saying right now. That's what come out of RUBEN Amorim's mouth. It sounds defeatist. I hate defeatist talk. I really do. The most annoying one, the one that Romano re-quoted this morning. Like I said, I don't want to be seen like I'm having a go here and just jumping on the RUBEN out bandwagon. I'm really not, but I can't defend things I can't defend things that he's saying. Look, I'm not going to defend something for the sake of not wanting to sack a manager. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be completely blunt and honest with where I'm actually at with RUBEN Amorim right now. And this is what he said. My message to the fans, I will do everything. Always thinking about what is best for the club until I'm here. I'll do my best. The rest is not my decision. I'm suffering more than the fans. No, you're not, mate. I'm telling you right now, no, you're not. The fans will suffer more than anybody at this football club forever and a day. You cannot say that. And I think it's caught up in the heat of the moment there. And it might have been looked at in a different type of context in what RUBEN said. I don't want to go over the top on that, on what he said there. But he isn't suffering more than the fans. He's not. We're the ones that have to sit there and pay money to watch players completely underperform week in, week out. You went into a transfer window off the back of 6 months, like Omar Barada said, 6 months of absolute hell. And they described it as hell, the nightmare that was last season. We were 15th in the league. We've had a full pre-season with 0 interruptions, not hardly any injuries at all. £200 million spent on a new strike force, a complete rejig of Manchester United strike force. And we are 14th in the league after 4 games with 1 win out of the Carabao Cup and -3 goal difference. You cannot defend that. You cannot defend that. That is more than enough time. Examples that people will use, examples of other situations. And you can talk about Manchester United. Spurs finished 17th last season. They were worse than us. And now they're in the top 4. And a manager's got older than players instantly. And they're working. What's the problem with Manchester United? Why does it need such drastic overhaul to just get results? Everybody knows it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. But why do we go in and just go completely right? We need to just rip up this. We need to rip up this whole old model of Manchester United, completely rip it apart and start from scratch to the point where we have to accept that we are going to be playing in the bottom half of the table and scrounging and scraping results. We have to accept that Manchester United need to be this low in the league table because it's a process and nothing happens overnight. I'm sorry, that does not work. That cannot work. We've been patient already. Last season was horrendous. It was horrible to watch. We cannot keep paying the prices we're paying to watch football this bad. I'm sorry. It's awful. It really is. He's had all of this money that he spent this summer and he could have jigged it. He could have gone for different players. But he insisted on putting Bruno Fernandes in that midfield instead of going out and buying a midfielder. These are just things that I think are indefensible for RUBEN Amorim. I'm making the point here because I don't want him to go. I want him to stay. I think he's a good coach. I think he has got something. I really do. And what he has done at this football club, I will always stand by him and say that RUBEN Amorim knows it. He gets it. But simple little decisions and making, for example, an easy decision for Manchester United, it seems to be a difficult one compared to other football clubs. And I don't want to just go in again on this, but the excuse to not play Benjamin Sesko because he needs to adapt to Manchester United. Newcastle United have had the worst start ever and the worst summer in the club's history in terms of transfers. The club's been spun upside down. Yet that team can play with 10 men and nearly beat Liverpool. That team can bring in on deadline day a striker, Voldemado, and he goes in straight into the team and scores on his debut and wins the game against Wolves for Newcastle United. They catapult themselves right above us, back into the top half of the table. Why can Newcastle start a striker that's come from the Bundesliga in his first game, having had what? A week's training. He's in the team, he scores. Benjamin Sesko needs 3 weeks not starting because he needs to adapt to Manchester United. These things are going to be highlighted at the top level, and you're in the top level in the Premier League right now. The expectations are different. You are Manchester United. This is the biggest thing of all that RUBEN needs to get to grips with. You're not in Portugal anymore. You need to work quicker. You need to get results. Results are paramount for Manchester United. Adapt what you are doing. This is not working. It's clearly not working. You are playing players out of position constantly. We had a few callers on the calling show last night. I think Michael made a good point. You've got Amad Diallo. He's not a right wing-back. He's a right winger. You've got the likes of Mazraoui playing at right wing-back. He's not a right wing-back. He's a right-back. Luke Shaw isn't realistically a centre-back. He can do... excuse me. He can do okay in games there at centre-back, but he's a left-back. We're playing players out of position all over the pitch. Bruno Fernandes is a 10, and he's playing at centre midfield. That's where Bruno Fernandes has played for most of his Man United time. You could say that he's played there for Portugal and the left of a free, but he's another player playing out of position. How do you go through everything that you went through last season, the last 6 months of the season, in absolutely horrible performances, digging out players that are not right for the club? And this is where I do back Ruben Amorim, and I thought we were going to really hit it off this season. I had confidence because he'd seen the crap, and he'd seen what didn't work. But them players, as much of a nightmare as they were, and they needed outing of this football club, yes, and he's done that, fantastic. You cannot ignore the fact that the system wasn't working last season either. The system took Manchester United to, 6 months worth of games with no back-to-back wins in the Premier League? No cup competitions, out in the final. Honestly, there's so many examples of how the system wasn't working last summer. So you go and you reset. You've got a full pre-season to work on things. And he's just gone straight back to doing exactly the same thing, but with spending more money on top and made us worse. Again, like we've got... How many goals have we scored this season? We've got 4 goals in 4 games. We conceded more, obviously, because we've been battered by Manchester City yesterday. We're on -3, I think, goal difference now. And I don't know. I just don't know where he goes from here. It's 1 win in 5 the start of this season. You cannot go from what we did last season straight into this for a start of the season and expect everything to be okay and people to give you more time. We needed to see results and we needed a good start. Everyone said the start of the season was tough, and everybody picked out on the games that we've got. Can we get through them? Can you adapt in the summer? Can you do something and actually make this work for Manchester United this season? And the answer to that is, well, no. It's not. You can't do it. That, I think, in the end, is where Ruben Amorim is going to fall down, I think, at Manchester United. I think that's where he's going to be losing his job. I just can't see any other way out of it for him. I can't. And the way that he's talking just compounds it for me. I just can't believe we've got a Manchester United manager coming out with such a defeatist attitude again. And it's worrying. It's worrying because I had confidence that he could actually do something, this manager. And I still think he has got something there, but my God, talk about absolutely burying yourself. I'm going to get into the comments section now. That's just my opening part of that as well in terms of where we were at from yesterday. I've slept on it. I still haven't got any defence for the actual result or the performance. I haven't got any defence for Ruben Amorim. Let's see what the comments are saying and let's see what everybody's got on their minds this morning. We've slept on it, everybody. So where are we at with it now? Where are we at with everything that's going on with Ruben Amorim? Can he survive this, I think, is the question. From 1992 to 2019, Liverpool Football Club in their worst finished 8th. Yeah. Robbie, also, that was from Aminor. Robbie says, with another super chat, Amorim is finished. He has made a rod for his own back. If he's not going to adapt, he's going to be sacked. Adapt or get sacked. That's probably the line to take from it, really, isn't it? If he's not going to change a little bit to adapt, like, he doesn't need to change much. He does not need to change much. But to me, these players on the pitch don't look like they know what they're doing. Are they suppressed by the system? There's no expression. There's no enjoyment. That's one thing that I would say. For Manchester United players, none of them look like they're enjoying the football. None of them look like they're enjoying it. He's making players worse. He's turning everybody against Bruno even more by playing him in there. I think he's absolutely slaughtered Bruno Fernandes, Ruben Amorim, playing him in this system. I think he's absolutely burying him right now. And there's a few other players as well that he's destroying because of his system that he's hell-bent on playing. Adam, you've changed your tune after one game? No, I've not, mate. I've not. You were bouncing about this squad, and now we've had a poor start. You're distraught. 4-4-2 may be the option, but we've bought players to fit a 3-4-2-1. Keep faith. No, ATKO completely wrong, mate. And I can't believe you've come up with that, pal, to be honest. I just said that I'm backing Ruben Amorim. I don't want him to go. I just said, look, he's going to get sacked playing this. I'm bouncing about the squad because I believe that this team has actually got something. These are good players, but this system is not working. They don't believe in him. And if he keeps on playing Manuel Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes in the midfield, we're going to lose, mate. It's as simple as that. We're going to lose. Ugarte didn't even feature in my pre-match team. He wasn't even coming off the bench, and he didn't warrant a place in that side. Bruno Fernandes should have been pushed further forward. Ahmad had an absolute nightmare game yesterday. There's no flip-flopping here for me at all. Ruben Amorim is just not adapting. He's not dealing with a situation at all. So you can all use me as the excuse if you want, but you're all hiding behind your own thoughts here. At least I'm not afraid to say it as it is. And that's where I'm at right now with it. I get what you're saying, ATKO, but if he doesn't change the shape, if he doesn't change this system to adapt to these players, he's sacked. It's as simple as that. And yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit disappointed that we've just come off the back of being battered in the Manchester derby again. So yeah, I am distraught this morning. I'm absolutely flat. And if you're not flat as a Man United fan, I'd actually question whether or not you were a real Manchester United fan. Everybody should be feeling absolutely devastated this morning. There's no hope this morning. You can look into the future and think maybe we can work on things, keep the faith and everything like that. Yeah, keeping the faith is all right if you're actually seeing some progression. I've seen it in part against Arsenal. And when Ruben Amorim came out yesterday and said, regarding a question on Bruno Fernandes in midfield, this is another one that got me as well, which I think nobody's picked up on. Ruben Amorim said yesterday in that press conference, and he came out and said that nobody was talking about Bruno Fernandes playing in midfield when we played against Arsenal. They had Declan Rice, they had Zubimendi, they had Martin Odegaard. Everybody was talking about Manchester United dominating that game. Yeah, we had Casemiro on the pitch next to Bruno Fernandes. Manuel Ugarte came on in that game and absolutely stunk the place out. Manuel Ugarte, whenever he's played this season, has been horrible. He's not had one good game. How is that man starting in the biggest game of the season? Ruben Amorim. I said every single way you look at that decision. He came back from international break later than anybody else. He's not had one good performance this season. There's players that have done better than him this season. Why is Casemiro on the bench in the Manchester derby? Ruben Amorim's decision. That's what we're looking at here. And you have to be honest with yourself. And I'm being honest with myself. Ruben is a good coach. I've seen it. At the moment, it's not working for him. If he's got this much and he's done this much in the past, then I think this is a very, very steep learning curve for him. If he adapts now, he will learn from this and he'll be an even better coach. That's Ruben Amorim for me right now. But if he doesn't, I don't think he'll manage at a big club ever again in his career. I really don't. Right now, all he's doing is being stubborn. You have to adapt. You listen to what the likes of Jose Mourinho has said. You listen to what Antonio Conte has said. All of these comments. In terms of Jose Mourinho and what he said, these are things like, these are managers that have won major trophies at major clubs. It's like Antonio Conte. I adapt to my players. I don't make my players adapt to my system. That's just crazy. Yes, it's that word. It's adapting. It's not completely changing your philosophy. It's adapting to what you've got. And I don't think he's willing to do that. It's rip up the scrapbook and completely start from scratch. That's what Ruben wants to do. He wants everybody to go back to complete basics and forget about everything else they've done before, which in some cases, yeah, you could argue is probably a good idea, but not right now with Manchester United. You have to get results. Other football clubs are allowed to drop off and come back again. Manchester United can't. They can't do that. This football club cannot afford to be where they are. We cannot afford to be out of Europe while a philosophy gets learned. It's going to take 2 or 3 years at this rate to actually get back to actually players understanding what Ruben wants to do. He's not going to get that time. You adapt it. The clever managers make it happen like that. And if Ruben does it, he'll survive at Man United. He will. And he'll get a lot more out of this team. I know he will. But I'm worried because he's not. And he's stubbornly saying no. And then you also have those coaches who try to do things that just don't work. And because of that, they die. But they say, I died, but I died with my ideas. My friend, if you died with your ideas, you are stupid. That was the quote from Jose Mourinho. I think quite important today. Look, nobody wants to see Ruben Amorim gets sacked. Everybody wants him to do well because it means Man United are doing well. It means that we're actually being successful. We've turned it around. We've changed the culture at the football club, and he's done a really good job with that. But Manchester United right now and where we are in the league, that manager is not going to change. That manager's not going to survive. He won't survive at Manchester United. It's just not going to happen for him. There's no way out of it for him. Let's get some more comments on this. Adam, why back a manager who keeps putting 2 goalkeepers on the bench? Should be sacked for that alone, and making like 5 like-to-like subs. He can't read a game. The substitution of Lenny Yoro was another one that was brought up yesterday, bringing Harry Maguire on. That was pure desperation, to be honest. Again, I didn't get it. I thought the substitutions were late. Why is Casemiro coming on at that stage of the game? We're 3-0 down with 10 minutes to go, and Casemiro's coming on. You might as well just not brought him on. It's embarrassing for a player like that. And this is how we'll lose the faith of the players. It's like, why am I coming on now? I'm a defensive midfielder and we're 3-0 down. Why am I coming on now? Like, proper professional players who have been there and done it and won everything will start to question that. Look, I'm saying the obvious. I'm saying what people are thinking here, and you know it's right. Everything that he did was wrong yesterday in the Manchester derby. Ruben Amorim shit the bed yesterday. I'm sorry. He did. He did. There is nothing that he got right in that game at all. And again, I don't think it's helping the players one bit right now. And we have got the right players in this squad right now. We've got players that want to play. But if they are being suppressed and stuck in this system, we're never going to see the capabilities of any of these players at Manchester United. We're just not going to get there. And again, other managers will get a tune out of players. Other managers will get a system in place. It's like, for instance, Brentford against Chelsea the other day. You can see exactly what they're doing. Everybody knows what they're doing. Manchester United, they don't know what they're doing. And that comes across in their performances on the pitch. There's not one player there that shone for Manchester United yesterday or showed any sort of capabilities of what they have got. Everybody yesterday completely fell on their ass. The occasion, whatever it was, whether it was the Manchester derby, the pressure, you can question the players all day long, and the players do take a big part of this as well. There's some stupid in-game decisions by a lot of these players, and this is what Ruben's got to contend with as well. But he's in charge of that team. If Bruno Fernandes is having an absolute stinker of a game, you bring him off the pitch. That, again, for Ruben, is what a lot of fans are coming on to. And a lot of fans are digging him out for not changing Bruno Fernandes. When he comes out and says that Kobbie Mainoo is competing alongside Bruno Fernandes, you cannot say that if you don't change Bruno Fernandes when he's having a bad game. It just doesn't work. Like, no one's going to go for that. No one's going to listen to what he's saying. He's competing alongside Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes was one of our worst players yesterday. And there is some bad players yesterday. But Bruno is right up there. Right up there. I think I rated Bruno Fernandes I think it was about a 3 out of 10 yesterday. I thought it was crap. Absolutely awful. You could say that he's been played in the wrong position and he's struggling to play his game. I think Gary Neville picked up on that as well. Bruno Fernandes is our best player. And he has consistently been our best player. But he's played in a 10. And Ruben Amorim's playing him out of position. He's playing him out of position and he's suffering right now. And there's no defence for Ruben playing Bruno Fernandes in midfield when we've got other players there that could do it. When we had a transfer window to bring players in. We had a poll running on the show this morning. I'm just going to check the results on it now. What should Ruben do about his chosen system not working? Give it up or stick to his guns. 32% of you have said stick to his guns. So I think there's a lot of Man United fans that have probably got a bit more patience than what I have. Look, I just cannot see a way out of it if he sticks to this system. That's all. I understand that there's an element of it that you need to obviously keep there. Stick to your guns, stick to your ways, but change it up. Like, maybe play Luke Shaw at left back. Maybe just bring Dorgu in at left back and put a left winger out there. Let's say for instance, you played Matthias Cunha at left wing and you've got Patrick Dorgu behind him at left back. 4 at the back probably will work for this team and what we've got right now. It will. It'll work a lot better. If you've got Mazraoui at right back, he's going to absolutely have a stormer. But then wing-backs that we've got, Dorgu, effective but no end product. Mazraoui is not an attacking wing-back. We know this. And we said it. Will he put Mazraoui in because he just wants to get Mazraoui in that team? And he doesn't want to drop anybody else out the back three. And he went and did it to the detriment of our attacking prowess going forward, because Mazraoui doesn't offer you anything going forward. Dorgu hasn't got an end product at the moment. As much promise as he is showing, we've not. So the wing-backs, the key positions in this system, are clearly not working with what players we have got. Would Dorgu be alright in a back four? Yes. Would Mazraoui be alright in a back four? Yes. Have we got wingers in front of them that can play in a four-man midfield? Yes and yes. Do we have two strikers up front that could really do a job for Manchester United? Yes, we've got Benjamin Sesko, and yes, you could play Bruno Fernandes just off him. And then you've got Kobbie Mainoo and Casemiro, or Agati and Casemiro sat in the two. You can change that from a 4-2, from a 4-4-2 to a 4-2-3-1 or 1-3, whatever you want. But wing-backs with three at the back is absolutely destroying this team right now for RUBEN Amorim. The triggers and the different systems that are within that formation that he talks about, we just don't see. We don't see it at all. He says it changes all the time. It's not about who plays where and who doesn't. But we're just not seeing it at all. It's not happening. I need to get... I'm getting carried away with myself. Sorry, everybody. Let's get some more comments on this one. Let's see where everyone is at. Ruder's interim adapted between a 3 or 4 at the back during the game and got the team playing well. The players can adapt. Amorim can't. Emmanuel says Amorim has made too many mistakes. We did not allow him know this because we can't, because we are only backing him without constructive criticism. Rochelle says, Thomas Frank, show all the idiots it doesn't take 5 years to improve your team. It took him 4 months, maybe less. Do you think a team like Chelsea will tolerate this kind of performance? No big team in the world is going to allow RUBEN Amorim the time that he's had. Not one big team in the world. That's another thing to bring up. Ineos will have a decision to make in a few weeks because, let's be honest, everybody, is there anyone confident that Manchester United can actually pick up any points now in these next 3 games? They'll come back again and it will be the usual. Manchester United go away from home and they have a stinking performance. They have. They did it against Fulham. They came and they had to bounce back against Burnley. We'll probably have some form of bounce back game against Chelsea. But if he loses to Chelsea, I think he might be done. It might be too much. Because honestly, we go away from home then again to Brentford. And if we don't pick up points against Brentford, and we got Sunderland at home, who are still on a bit of a flyer for this season, by the way, ahead of us in the league, both of them teams. We are now playing teams constantly that are ahead of us in the league. I don't think people are realising this. But every single game is a hard game for Manchester United. We are not Manchester United anymore. We are Manchester United by name, and that's it. We're looking at the games that are coming up. We're thinking, right, where are the easy games here for Manchester United? Oh, City and Chelsea, we might actually just put a performance because it's a big game. Big game. You get carried away then that it's the Manchester United of old playing in big games and competing against City and Chelsea. Well, yesterday we didn't turn up. It was an horrendous City side yesterday. I thought they were awful and we still got battered by them. Then you've got Chelsea. We'll have a little bit of a bounce-back performance. Maybe we scrape a draw. But the point I'm trying to make is here is, like, we are playing... Every team that we're playing now is ahead of us in the league table because we are so bad. We are so bad right now. Look, we're talking Sunderland and Brentford next. Normally you'd be looking at them games as a United fan thinking a team below us, we've got to win them games. They're looking at Manchester United now and thinking we need to pick up points against Manchester United. We're below them all. The next 5 games is against teams that are all above us in the league because we are so bad and so low in the table. And people are not realising this. Again, we are just not moving. We're stuck in 14th, 15th in the league table and it's not going anywhere. I believe that we've got a good enough squad to move up that table. I still believe it. I still think that the players in this team are good enough. I really do. Some of them are not, and obviously in time they will be fizzed out. But I like De Ligt, I like Lenny Yoro, I love Mazraoui. Leach is a good player. Harry Maguire's great backup. Aidan Heaven is coming through. You're looking at, for this season in midfield, Kobbie Mainoo, I think is decent enough alongside Casemiro for the amount of games that we've got. I like Patrick Dorgu. I like Ahmad, Mbumo, Sesko, Cunha, Mason Mount. There is good players in this side that definitely don't belong 14, 15, lower end of this table. If you have got that squad, I say right now, if you brought any of the managers from the top 10 into this Man United side with them players, they would take this team straight back into the top 10. They would. You know they would. All Ruben has to do is accept that he's got this start of his time at Man United a little bit wrong. Most of what he's done, I think, has been really good. I think he's done everything that every other Manchester United manager in the past bottled completely. Saying that, though, Ruben Amorim really is the only manager that has had a structure backing him up. And you need to remember that as well. The other managers all had an excuse that they are just the Glazers and they're merry men working behind the scenes, and this is the nightmare we're dealing with right now. So they didn't get any backing at all. Manchester United with Ineos, their one man and their main man has been Ruben, and he has been backed with every single awkward decision that there is at this football club. Player Power FC has been completely eradicated under Ruben Amorim, but there was a big part of that played by Ineos as well in backing him. Jason Wilcox has done a great job, but Jason Wilcox needs to, I was listening to Alan Pardew last night as well, maybe the director of football at Manchester United needs to go and have a little word with Ruben Amorim and say, this isn't working. That maybe have that conversation with him right now. That's his job. Maybe that needs to happen. Maybe some home truths need to be spoken about with Ruben Amorim this week at Carrington with the board and people above him. Like, they can see what they're watching. Like, they were all sat in the stands yesterday. We've all seen the pictures, haven't we? They were all sat there. They were watching what we were watching. You can't ignore what you've watched there on the pitch. The eye test never fails, as they say. Right, just going to quickly run through the comments again. I've missed a few super chats that have come in there, so let's just run through these now. Robbie says, even if he adapts, he is toast. Authority is gone. Do you think he's lost the dressing room? I don't know. I'm not going that far anyway. It was so bad yesterday. Even Yoro looked crap. Yeah, I felt for him when he was brought off the pitch. Subscribe, 20 to go. Oh, by the way, yes, everybody, we are, with all of the crap going on, it's completely overshadowed the fact that we're only about 20 subscribers away from hitting the 100k mark. What a bittersweet sort of week this could be for us as United fans and the channel itself. But thank you again for all of your support. Please do keep hitting that subscribe button, give the video a like as well. It's one of them tough mornings today where I just have to be honest. And I'm always going to say it as it is on Forever United TV. I know some of you don't like it. I know a lot of us like the positive side of things. And I am a very, very positive fan. And everybody knows this. But I just have to be honest. I'm worried for what's happening right now. 4-1 is possibly the way to go. It says, Robbie, hold my hand up. Kobbie did more than Bruno, 100%. Kobbie had an impact when he came on yesterday. He did. Weak players only in pre-season were better. Yeah, when the pressure was off, says Evan. That's a worry as well. Like, turning up when the chips are down, turning up when there's no pressure on you. That's the difference. Pre-season, they looked all right. It looked like we were going places. We do have another poll running, by the way. Do you want United to sack Ruben Amorim? 54% of you have said no. I think that's about right. No one wants to see him get sacked. We just want to see him change. Change it, Ruben. You've got enough in your locker to make this team work. You've got enough players there to make this work for Man United. If Ruben Amorim changes or just tweaks it, accepts that his system isn't ready yet at United, but keeps his different moments within games that he wants players to do certain things, the triggers, the movement, the backing up, the certain parts of games when you control again, like everything that he wants to do with this system is still there. But he needs to start playing players in better positions. Like, he needs to start playing players in positions that they're going to do better in, I should say. And I think there are a few Man United players that will thrive in a different formation right now at this football team. I really do think that we have got enough here, if we change it a little bit, to start moving up. And I think the players will feel a lot more comfortable in it. And I think we'll start seeing better performances with it. But it's whether or not them comments like they have worried me, whether they worry you as a United fan. Are they actually... Has he actually got it in him to accept that United are just not going to be able to operate under this system? He's not going to change his philosophy. And that's the worry that I've got. I think he's just too stubborn. Everybody, like the bigger man will accept that he's got it wrong. And if Ruben does accept that he's got this start of his career at United wrong, then he'll have a long career at Manchester United, because I think he will adapt and I think he will make it. I do. I think he'll make it somewhere if he changes. Because at other football clubs, like we've said before, where he's been before, he's had time and there's been no pressure on him. Now there's pressure and now he has to adapt. This is the next level of football management that Ruben needs to get to grips with, I think. That he's just not getting it. He's just not getting it. If someone says something to him from the board level, I don't know. Will that sink in with him? Maybe, I don't know. Eman says Ten Hag at least adapted and improved the squad to an extent. Amorim doesn't do anything. Honestly, I think Eric Ten Hag completely abandoned what he wanted to do to try and make it work at Manchester United. But even he was playing players completely out of position and ruining players for me. Honestly, like, Ruben Amorim has got a system that he believes in, and it's good that he wants to stick to it, but it just doesn't need to be so strict. That's what we're trying to say here. If he just does little subtle changes here and there, then it will work. He will get more out of this team. But he wants to be rigid with his philosophy and what he wants to do and not move away from it. And he's going to have to take the consequences of it, because as much as we want him to stay and do well, he will get sacked, because results are going to be the end goal. And he said that himself. He admits and knows that his time at Manchester United may be short if the results don't come. The results are not coming with this team that you've got and this team that you're picking, Ruben. It is going to be fascinating to see which team he picks against Chelsea on Saturday. There's no decision to make. He should be sacked, says Christopher. Galvatron says the stupid thing is we're out playing teams and still can't create chances and score goals. So it has to be the system/tactics. We just don't look like we're going to create anything or score a goal, do we? Manchester United just don't ever look like scoring. That's the problem. Again, we're averaging a goal a game. It's just not good enough. A goal a game with this system is just not going to work for Manchester United. Smith Rowe scored for Fulham because Bruno didn't track him. And with Foden yesterday, I don't blame Bruno because he's not a central midfielder. I like Ruben, but if he doesn't change, he'll be sacked. Yeah, he just needs to change the players up a little bit. Like, I think people are hating on Bruno more because of what Ruben's doing with him. Like, he's not that player in there. He cannot express himself the same way. He cannot be effective in the final third if he's playing at 6. There were times yesterday he was practically in the back 4. Again, picking up the ball, Bruno Fernandes. He's just not going to get the Bruno Fernandes. Like, you can do your clever little passes further up the pitch in the final third, and that's... you could get something out of that. But if you're trying to play Bruno Fernandes in at 6, if you're trying to get the best out of Bruno Fernandes at 6 and he's going to play the way that he wants to play then he's just going to make erratic decisions. It's not going to work. You just need to have a balanced team with what players you've got. And I believe we've got the players to be balanced. I do believe we've got the players to be balanced in there. He's just not seeing it. And he's picking the wrong players for certain roles. Fully think that he can turn it around, but I do believe that he is actually killing himself at the moment. I think he is. I think he's burying himself. Ollie had zero experience, got more of a tune out of these players. Graham's in with another super chat. Says Amorim's not for changing. He's going over a cliff edge. It's his doing, nobody else's. It is. I agree with what Graham said there. Ruben is the one who can change this. Ruben's the one that is in charge of this. He could make subtle changes, but if he isn't, then, like Graham said, he will end up losing his job. Sesko's game number 5 and counting goalless. Goals will come from Mbumo. Guess Dorgu. I'm not sure what you mean by that one there, the Manning. Boxing says that Ruben doesn't respect Wilcox or Barada. He sat in his presser saying he won't change anything. That's a lack of respect for his bosses. Interesting point. ATKO says, finally we might realise that Maguire hasn't been the problem. If De Ligt pairs him, he'd have first reliable partner in 6 years. Still, no keeper or central defensive midfielder to support. Stones is old, but pairs with Harry. Oh, I see what you mean by the England one. Honestly, I think that Harry Maguire's time at Manchester United is coming to an end. I think we need to move past it. He's getting to that age. I do get what ATK was saying there, though. Like, maybe Harry Maguire isn't actually the problem. I don't think he is. Like, he had a bad spell under Eric Ten Hag, an horrendous spell, but he came back from that. I don't think Harry Maguire is even in the equation here or the conversation. It's all about Ruben Amorim playing, I think, players in a more comfortable position. I think it's about him willing to change. And if he's not willing to change, then we are going to struggle. If Kobbie Mainoo's not going to start games, he's going to lose Kobbie Mainoo. How can you say that there's a big plan for Kobbie Mainoo and he wants him at the football club if you're going to play Manuel Ugarte ahead of him and this team is just falling and falling and falling? There is no plan for a player to see. I said this the other day, if you put yourself in a player's shoes right now, listening to Ruben Amorim, looking at the way that the team is playing, then you're not going to be on board with what he wants. You're not going to listen to him, are you? That's what I'm trying to say here. If he's saying to Kobbie Mainoo, you're competing with Bruno Fernandes for that 8 now. Yes, you've got a good player in front of you, but Bruno's never played in that position for Man United, realistically. So why is he there? That's your first question. Then you tell Kobbie Mainoo, you've got a big future ahead of you. And yeah, maybe in a year's time when Bruno's gone, Kobbie Mainoo might get a place in this side. But Kobbie Mainoo's also looking at this system completely failing. Manchester United in the worst form they've ever been in Premier League history. And I don't think people... I think people need to remember that as well. The reason why we're all worrying and we're panicking and we're thinking we're not going to be able to let this guy see out his system and be patient is because we are so bad. It's the worst it's ever been. I think people need to remember that yes, managers need time. We need patience. It doesn't happen overnight. But when you jump in at the deep end, expect to see waves, expect to see problems and struggles. That's what he's done. He's not eased his way in. He's gone, right, it's this way, everybody in. No armbands, nobody's swam before, nobody knows this system before at this football team. Get in there right into the deep end and let's see who sinks and swims. And it's just a massive risk to throw the whole team in at the deep end right now because a lot of them are just sinking because they can't adapt. And that does show that the football IQ there for some of the Man United players is lacking, and that is a problem that he's got right there. So what do you do as a manager? You're a manager, and you have to, in any walk of life, deal with the situation in front of you. You have to adapt your game to their game, find the middle ground, and balance. So you're coming in at, about, in the swimming pool, where are you? About chest high in water. Everyone's still safe, everyone's still okay, and you can still get a tune and everyone feels comfortable. No, not with Ruben Amorim. It's his way or the highway, and that will end up burying him. And the team will just move on past him again. Someone else will come in and start to get a tune out of these players by playing a simpler system that they can understand. You know what? If Ruben came in and just did a little tweak here and there, and we got some results and we're stable, we maybe stayed in the top 7, stayed in Europe and Europa League, you could start to just adapt and build into different styles and systems as you go forward. Change the game of certain players, mould them, but he's just gone fully on in and said, no, change this now, do that there, mix this up there, put that player in, he's coming back from that position, he's never played there before, but I think that will work because this system has worked for me before. These players are not on board with it, and Ruben will sink because of it. Right, moving on. Let's get some more comments. Actually, I need to get way more comments in. A few more super chats in as well. Thank you, everybody. I'm just going to get through as many comments as I possibly can now. So, yep, your time of the show, everybody. Get your thoughts in now. It is all on the comments. G-Man says he's destroying Mainoo, who looked class. Mainoo looked all right when he came on. But let's be honest, like people who saying the last 15 minutes of that game Manchester United started playing. Yeah, we started playing because City just basically put the handbrake on. and defended deep. Like United started creating half chances, nothing clear cut. It's because the game was over. United started playing when there was no pressure on because there was nothing to fight for. It's pathetic. And so I don't care about the last 15 minutes of the game. I don't care about them actually wanting to do something and actually putting in a little bit more effort and creating more. Why didn't you do that at the start of the game when it mattered? 3-0 you're not going to overturn in the last 15 minutes. I'm not having any of it. And over the course of his tenure, he's proved he's not a good enough coach at this level, says Graham in another super chat. I think Graham has given up on Ruben Amorim going off them. And you know what? Look, from the results, I cannot blame him. I really can't. The poll is very, very close now in terms of, do you think Manchester United should sack Ruben Amorim? We've got that running. There's been a load of votes. We're creeping up to nearly 1,200 votes on this. Do you want United to sack Ruben Amorim? 48% of you now have said yes. This is getting as close to a 50-50 split as it is. This has never been the situation with Ruben before. It never has. AIG says Ruben has said that we will suffer before we get to where we need. So this is part of the suffering. We need to still give him time. Yes, he does need to tweak a little bit, but give him time. To be honest, mate, like I don't think anyone's got a problem in giving him time. He's not going to get the time because it's so bad. I think that's what we need to remember here. I don't actually think that... Look, I know there's fans out there that said, not good enough coach, get rid of him. Nobody wants to see United sack another manager. Let's get that straight. But everybody's welcome to their opinion, and everybody's welcome to change their mind about a manager if they start to see flaws in their team and performances are not getting better. You are allowed to change your mind about a manager, people. Don't think that anybody's less of a United fan just because they've changed their opinion of Ruben Amorim. Like, you know what you're watching. You're not watching good football. He's got the worst win ratio out of every single manager post Sir Alex Ferguson. He's one of the worst ratios in the club's history in the games that he's played. There is room to worry, and you are allowed to worry and be concerned about it. It's not like you have to stick to this. We have to back him no matter what. We cannot go back to them days of just sacking managers. Look where it's got us now. Look, if he's not good enough, he's not good enough. We will keep saying this about players. We'll keep saying this about managers. Ruben Amorim has to live and die on that 2-year sword like every other player at Manchester United does. If you're not improving in a 2-year period, then you're out of the door. You're not good enough. It's as simple. Will Ruben get to 2 years? I don't know. I think Ineos will back him. I think Ineos have invested so much into him that they'll back him all the way until it is completely untenable. The question that we're asking right now is, what is untenable? How far does it go? Do we lose to Chelsea and drop down into what? Into the relegation fight yet again? Like, you only have to look at the league table right now. In fact, I'm just going to bring it up on my phone and just check it again. In terms of how far away we are, like, I know it's still early doors in the season, but if Manchester United, for instance, lost to Chelsea, which is it's there, we can do it. We're sat 14th on -3. We literally could be in the relegation zone next Saturday. If that's the case, after 5 games, as a ownership of a football club, as the powers at the football club looking at it, as Ineos are, you're starting to go, right, okay. We need to make a decision here. We've just given this guy over 200 million, 220 million. We've given him what he wants. You could say that some of the transfers took too long and we should have been dealing with it. And the structure should have bought another midfielder in. Like, let's not forget, like, it's not just Ruben making these decisions in terms of transfers. They're not his players. They're Ineos's as well. And that structure's there. This is why it's different. Now, this is why this is different under Ruben Amorim, because these players are not being bought in solely just by Ruben Amorim. He has his say, but everybody else does at the football club as well. So that's what we need to remember. If things go wrong this weekend and Manchester United end up down in that relegation zone, then I think Ineos will be looking at it going, we need to make the change now. I think now is the time. They have to be thinking about it. And that's the worry. I don't want to say it, by the way, everyone. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Adam, you've been dead positive all summer and things are going to work. Look, I cannot ignore what's in front of me. I'm not going to blindly back what I've said in the summer and how positive I am when I'm watching absolute dross like this. I cannot ignore 1 win in 5 for the start of a season and -3 goal difference and stuck back in 14th again. I cannot ignore that. And that's the worry. And like I've said, I've backed RUBEN Amorim to a point where I think if he does accept what he's done wrong, he can move up. But the point of this video and what we're talking about this morning is he has clearly said he's not going to. And he's backed that all of the way. Every time a question comes to him about what he's doing, how he's playing, he fights back and says, I'm not going to change. I am not going to change. It's going to be the same again next week and next week. And every time them players go into training and they're doing the same thing week after week after week, they're going to lose confidence because they're dropping further and further down that table. In their minds, they're already doubting what RUBEN is telling them right now. It's guaranteed. I don't care what they say on camera. In any walk of life, if your performances are dropping down, you have got doubts. This whole squad right now has got doubts. This is the worst that Bruno has ever been at Manchester United under RUBEN Amorim. This is the worst I've ever seen him play. And people can argue about the way that Bruno plays, but he always backs it up and he always comes back fighting and gives us a little bit more. When I see Bruno Fernandes failing to the level that he's failing now, I get concerned. And I'm sorry to be negative about that. It's just there. It's facts. Nobody is performing under RUBEN Amorim. Not one player is performing to the level that we need him to be. We're seeing bright moments and sparks and a little bits of promise here and there, but it's not enough. It's not enough. I mentioned all the players that I like. I actually think if you put another manager in right now and gave him these players, they would instantly get 2 wins in a row, which RUBEN has not managed to do in his time at Manchester United. 2 wins. All we've asked for is back-to-back wins in the Premier League, and he can't do that. You can't ignore what's in front of you. You can't ignore what you're watching. It's there for everybody to see. And sadly, RUBEN sees it and doesn't want to change it because he thinks behind the scenes he will get it right playing this way. How much more evidence does he need that it's not working? It's staggering. It really is. And I'm worried for him. I'm really worried for him. Amorim says so because he is asking for the sack. He has given up, says Boon Long. 3 points off 7 is perspective. Yeah, it is, Manny. But again, it's 1 win in 5, mate, and 25% win rate. You can look at it positively if you want, but again, everything has to go our way in them games. And again, we've not got back-to-back wins. So if we do win against Chelsea, but then we don't back it up and beat Brentford, then we're back where we're gone, where we was today, except we're another 2 games on, and we are 6 and 7 games into the season. Then that form continues again going forward, and we do it again. We get 1 win, we look all right, we move up a few places. Eventually, they will start to level themselves out, and Manchester United will just start to plateau and just drop and drop and drop. If he is not in the top half of the table by the end of the international break, so the last international break in November, if we come back from that international break, and we'll give him them games then leading into the Christmas period. If he's not in the top 10, then he's sacked. That's literally what I said in the summer. I didn't think we'd get to this point, but we're there now, aren't we? That's what's happening. I don't want managers to be sacked, but a team not performing consistently results in dismissal in every walk of life. It does, Graham. How long has he been here? 1 year. What did we say is required? 3 windows. Yes, mate, but the money that's been spent, you cannot expect Manchester United to be in a relegation fight having spent 220 million off the back of what we had last season, man. Come on. You have to be real about it. It's horrendous. The position where Manchester United are is untenable for a Manchester United manager. Change it now, and he's got a chance. And then you get his windows. Well, let's not forget, you cannot just blindly say he needs 3 windows when performances are bad. He needs to earn them 3 windows and show that there is something there. I don't think he's done anything to show us so far that he deserves them 3 windows in performances on the pitch. Off the pitch, I love this guy. I think he's been a breath of fresh air. I really do. I like the players he's brought in. I love the players he's brought in. I'll question how many of the same player in the same position we've got right now, and that could have been sorted in the summer. There's so many positives for RUBEN Amorim. There really is. But I want to watch my team play good football, and that's always going to be what it is. If United are winning games, no one's talking about it. Not one person is talking about it. But United are not winning games. It's horrible football. It is. And again, I'll say it. Results will keep you in a job. As soon as you start dropping off, that's it. You're done for. And that's RUBEN Amorim. That's where he's at right now. And we can talk about free windows. We need this. You need time and everything. Let's not forget. He needs to earn his time at United. We can't just give it to him blindly and say, oh, it doesn't matter about the results. We need to give him time. That doesn't work. It really doesn't. Pratman says, do you think that the players turned on him? I don't know at the moment. Time will tell. After a result like that and a Manchester derby drubbing, Manchester United usually have a bit of a bounce back. But the Chelsea game I'm a bit worried about because they'll be looking to bounce back from their game as well against Brentford at weekend. Let's not forget, Chelsea have got European football this week as well. So maybe Man United might be better prepared for that game. I fully expect Manchester United to go out and beat Chelsea at weekend. I do. I'm expecting United to give us a bounce back. Keep Old Trafford as a fortress. You need to win every single game at home, no matter what the opposition is. You need to be going into that and winning it. My concern is the week after. Away from home, Brentford and United, again, dropping points. And then we'll go back, bounce back against Sunderland at home and win at home. That, again, is the way that Manchester United have been performing. The inconsistencies. Just about winning a game before an international break and then coming back with a little bit of hope from it isn't going to be sustainable for RUBEN Amorim because the international breaks will run out and then the games will come thick and fast in December and you're back to a level playing field where you've got as much training time as everybody else. Right now, you should be fully taking advantage, like I said in the summer, of having no European football. The fact that he's not is really concerning for me. And the fact that the players have had so long with him now, off the pitch, to learn this system, and they're not getting any better, that, again, is where this is going to fall down for him. I don't do anything blind. I've studied what he did in Portugal. In the meantime, we've had 7 managers in 10 years with no results. This week for Adam, there is no relegation battle. I wish he walks tomorrow. Who, Adam? Nuno. Look, that's not up for me to decide. I'm not going to pick a manager right now because Ruben's gone. That's for Man United to deal with. We shouldn't be talking about what managers come in or deciding what manager comes in if Ruben's sacked. That's what you've got there at Man United. They've got a football structure. What this club needs to do is accept standards have dropped and how far are they willing to let them drop for their first manager that they've brought in at Ineos right now. Yeah, you know, you can say it's not worked with other managers right now. But Ruben's the first manager to come in that's had a football structure backing him. The others didn't. And that's one thing we need to remember. And with a football structure there as well, he has completely failed so far. So, yeah, let's just see what happens from here. Absolutely mega show, by the way, everybody. We are 11 subscribers away from 100,000 subscribers. I know it's a sour note. I know it's a miserable show. We've just been beaten by City. It is a full-on bittersweet day, this for me today. Being so close to 100k. Please pop a like on the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. We're so close to actually getting there well live. If anyone hasn't actually subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button. You're only going to get pure honesty and real opinion on shows like this. And this is why people keep coming back into the live chat and coming back on the shows as well. And I welcome all opinion at all. I like what Manny's doing. I like that he's fighting Ruben's corner. I do. I love that in fans. I like blind faith. We are all different in our ways as football fans. I am just worried right now. And I'm concerned that we are going to have to sack another manager. I think it was Graham who made the super chat earlier on, actually. It says, like, nobody wants to see a manager sacked. We don't want to lose him. But when it gets to this stage, you have to accept that enough is enough. We cannot keep losing games. And that's not even us fans talking like we want him out. That's what we know will happen. if it keeps going this way. And I go back to what Gary Neville said. Gary Neville said that we've seen this movie before. We want Ruben to have time, but a decision is going to have to be made. I feel like if he loses to Chelsea, I don't think we will. I think we beat Chelsea. And you can say I'm crazy if you want. You can say, Adam, you've just gone on about how bad it is under Ruben and nothing's working. But still, I expect Manchester United to bounce back. It's just the way that it works, football. But I'm already expecting United to bounce back and then fall at Brentford the week after. That's just how my mind is actually thinking right now. That's just where I'm actually at. Sorry, I lost my finger there because it was 4 subscribers off 100k. 5 gifted memberships from London. Absolute legend, mate. Thank you so much. Make sure that you do pop a like in and a big thank you in to London in the chat if you've got one of them memberships. And everybody, it's going to be a busy week this week. Football Talks is going to be mental busy as well because we've got all of the games coming up in Europe. European football starts this week. I feel really sad saying that, honestly. The fact that Man United have not got any European football depresses me, really does. I'm just like, oh, God, just having to sit on this result for a week now and watch everybody else compete this week is going to be a difficult one for me. It is. I think every single United fan is probably in the same boat right now. But look, thank you, everybody. That is it for this morning's show. We can only go on so far. We could talk forever. We really could. Carl quickly just there says, we will do that, Adam. You know I say this all of the time. Win 1, lose 2. That's why I can't be positive. Unfortunately, it is there. Thank you, everybody. All the new subscribers. There has been loads of you on the show this morning. I appreciate you accepting the realism, which is Man United right now and what we're talking about. It's not easy, and I don't want to be talking this way. But you have to face facts, and sometimes it's just there. It's blatantly obvious. At London, just another 5 gifted memberships right at the end of the show. Everyone's on a mad one right at the end. 3 more subscribers to hit 100k while we're live. 2 more to hit while we're live. Are we just going to stick around while we hit 100k so we're live and we're doing it? I think we might have to, might we, just to see it out. Oh my God. We went to 100k and 101 and then it went back down again. Someone's having us over here. 100,000 on the board. Honestly, I cannot tell you how what that feels. And how mega that is. Honestly, it is a lot of work. A lot of work goes behind the scenes. And just to see 100k up on the screen right now, that is mental. That is absolutely crazy. So, massive way to finish the show. Thank you, everyone. I love you all. 100k celebrating. I can't believe it. And on such a dire day as well after a horrible performance. I'm going to celebrate that, though. That's absolutely amazing, everybody. Thank you so much. We managed it, and we got it live as well. Really appreciate you all. 100,000 subscribers. That is at least a positive way to finish today's show after what we've seen. Thank you, everyone. Love you all. Absolutely amazing job again. Thank you, mods, for all of your hard work. We celebrate that with you and all the work that you put in, all the subscribers and people that keep on coming onto the shows. Thank you to you as well. All of the members and the donations and super chats. You help the channel grow to where we are now. It is a massive achievement, and thank you so much, everybody. Honestly, I cannot tell you how pleasing that is to see that up on the screen there. We've been fighting for it and working hard all summer, and we've got there. Amazing. I can't believe it. I can actually come away from a show after such a bad performance feeling happy because of you guys. The show moves on and we go from strength to strength. Thank you, everybody. Absolutely love that. And I'm glad we actually stuck around there now. Everybody's just now dropping loads of stuff in so I can't finish the show. Right, quickly, 100k, well done, mate. Thank you, Carl. Love that. Tom has just dropped a gifted membership in. Another 5 gifted memberships in from Ian as well. Thank you, buddy. Well deserved, Adam. 100,000 subscribers. Thank you. We did it, everyone. That looks amazing up on the screen right there, doesn't it? 100k. Come on, get in there. It's about the biggest celebration we're going to get all weekend. Mental. Thank you, everyone. Absolutely love you all. You are absolute legends. I'm going to finish up there on the high notes. Cheers, everybody. I'll see you later on. I'll keep you updated with everything that's going on. I'll pop a big post up thanking everyone for the 100k as well. And I'll catch up with you all later. Cheers, everyone. Have a fantastic day, whatever you're up to. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you later on.